Rich, Dead Island 2 is finally out this Friday.
Yeah.
And we've been playing with it for the last couple of weeks.
It took 9 years, by the way.
It did, yeah. And, like, it's all on every version, like, on every console, except for the Switch, obviously.
Yes.
And considering that we had to wait 9 years, usually these things end up being a bit of a mess. But actually, Rich, like, it's not. And before we kind of get into the FPS stuff, first things first, there's no modes. It's just straight up one mode for every console.
Yay.
This is the last gen Xbox stuff.
Right.
So the One S and the One X, pretty much stable 30. Like the little jaggy on the line you can see is that it'll go, like if you're doing it, like watching it on an 60 FPS, it'll be frame, miss a frame, frame, miss a frame. But then it'll be like frame, miss a frame, 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 miss a frame.
Oh,
so
right.
it just kind of,
Dips
sometimes
now
it
and
just, and I actually can't work it out. And it's the same with the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. The PS4 did drop a little bit, but I'm not sure whether that's just down to it being a little bit more mental.
Right.
But no massive drops, like the odd frame here and there.
Yeah.
The PS5, as you can see, solid
rock
60,
solid.
mate.
Lovely.
Rock solid. And it's a very similar story when it gets to the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S.
Right.
In terms of, obviously, the Series S is 60 and the Series X is 60. So there's the odd dip every so often. Like the odd drop to 59
on both.
But it's like once in a blue moon.
Right. Okay. I mean, I've played this through beginning to end, and I think my game completion stat is something like 86. So I've played a lot, and I don't recall ever having a problem with the frame rate.
No, I had no technical stuff. Like, there were graphical bugs every so often, like characters just, like, in cutscenes just not appearing or appearing, like, below the floor.
Did you see enemies dissolve into view out of nowhere sometimes as well?
Yeah, so there is a little bit of pop-in. But as you can see, like, even the Xbox One S, the Xbox Series X, the One X looks great.
Yeah.
But when you get up to the next-gen ones...
Oof, those sparks.
Look at that.
Way more sparks.
The particle effects, mate. Like, and obviously, like, that's 30 FPS, so the 60 FPS makes it look a lot smoother. But across the board, Rich, like, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Obviously,
it's a good-looking game.
Yeah, and I would say, though, like, for once, usually the One X and the PS4 Pro versions are, like, fantastic and they're great. But I would say, like, because of these 60 FPS, the Series S version is probably... the one to get if you're getting those. Obviously, the next gen stuff. Yeah. You want the X and the PS5 because it looks absolutely incredible, Rich.
Yeah.
And the character models are great, and this is the last gen. But I've put the Series S with these two.
I like the head turns.
Yeah, I know, right? I couldn't sync them up. But yeah, I put the Series S with the One S and the One X just because in a bit we're going to see some differences between last gen and next gen. I wanted to kind of point them out, and it's a lot better to do when they're side by side.
Yes.
But yeah, the PS4 looks okay. Same with the One S, PS4 Pro, and One X look decent enough. But the Series X and the PS5 look phenomenal, mate.
Yeah, they do look great
visually. Like, you can't fault it, to be honest.
What about the kind of maiming and the violence and all that? The gore, does that hold up on last gen?
I mean, yeah. Like, we've done a zoom here just to see which are the kind of better resolution. And honestly, like...
I can't read anything.
No, and there's nothing really in it, to be honest.
Right.
So, between the Series X and the PS5, I'd almost go as far as to say that they're pretty identical. But yeah, I mean... Yeah, you still see it, but you don't see it in as good a resolution. The maiming and stuff.
Okay.
But it's still there. But obviously, when you're punching through a zombie's face and his eyes hanging out and his jaws hanging off, you're going to see it better on, like, the next gen.
Of course.
But, like, I mean, it looks decent on the last gen, but obviously, like, I would actually say this is one of the more impressive next-gen titles I played.
Yeah, that's why it surprises me that it runs comparatively well on last-gen hardware. I expected it to be a bit of a cyberpunk case, maybe, but
no,
it's not.
And Rich, this is coming from the studio that their last game... Was it their last game?
Homefront, The Revolution.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and this one, like, they haven't had 9 years, but the game is... I mean, look at that shot, mate. Like...
I think they started in 2019, and after Jaeger and Sumo came off the project.
Yeah, right. So they haven't
Yeah.
had it all this time, but
No.
like compared to that, which was a bit of a car crash, this is actually like a well put together video game. Rich.
Clearly, they learned their lesson, and do you know what? It bodes well for if they do time splitters.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you can see, the differences between the PS5, the next gen, and the last gen here, you'll see it in a couple of other shots, especially the swipes like this. There are FOV options on the next gen consoles only.
And
so
lots
they don't exist on last gen.
Right, okay, that's interesting. Lots of bush there as well, so thanks for that.
We love a bush, mate.
We do.
Right, as you can see here as well, right? See the cones that's on the back of the truck there?
I do, yeah.
On the Series S. So the next gen version has little bits of extra detail here and there.
Right.
And also, we'll save it for a different one, a different shot. But I'll point it out now. In the last gen version, there is no wind. The trees are static, right? But as we switch to the next gen versions, like you'll see, like look at the trees swaying. So that was a weird little thing that I noticed when I was going through all the shots, and I'm like,
that's really cool.
Okay,
sort of thing you would sort of, that would pass you by unless it was pointed out to you. But yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And obviously, like the resolution, like the One X resolution is clearly better than the Series S, as you can tell in this. In the painting, but I guess it's had to make a lot of concessions to get the 60 FPS, and I think it's a better game for the 60 FPS.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I actually just find first-person games just better in 60 FPS.
Well, a game like this as well that's fairly frantic, like the action comes at you pretty fast, so that 60 frames per second is definitely, if you can have it. Do it.
For sure, and especially because you get to see the gore happening in real time. Well, obviously, 30 FPS is real time, but it's not as fluid as smashing a zombie's jaw off. But like this is the perfect example. Now, watch it go from the 1S, watch the trees at the back, to the Series S. Do you know what I mean? It just gives the game a little bit more life.
Yeah.
But like, look at honestly, like the quality of this. Just the zombie in the bottom left.
Yeah.
Like on the Series X and the PS5, just like it's gruesome and brilliant. Like. I actually really love the attention to detail in the open world. Yeah. And it's a weird open world, isn't it? Because it's kind of open world, but it's not.
It's it's interconnected kind of regions, isn't it? There's a short loading screen between them, right?
Oh, glad you said that. Yes, if you're on next gen. If you're on last gen, not so much.
Oh, they're quite lengthy.
Yeah, they are like noticeable. Like you don't really notice them in next gen. It's a little bit, and we're still calling it next gen until last gen goes, because current gen, every gen is current.
Oh mate, you knocked over the footstool on the Series S.
Oh shit, I did. But you can see like the anti-aliasing on like the fan on the last gen. But when we get through to the next gen stuff, you don't see it. But like, it just feels like there's like every interior has this incredible attention to detail. Like they've gone in and create these interiors that feel like they're lived in, but also not, and a little bit like destroyed from the zombie apocalypse.
Environmental storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's a lot
like
of that.
Where did the footstool go?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I must have kicked that one. But like the lighting as well is great. This is like whereas that one was near the pool at the back of the house, this one like blinds are closed, so there's just a load of really cool lighting across the board. Obviously, fairly sure it's not ray traced. It's not ray traced, so it's volumetric, but it just goes to show that it's still a viable solution when it comes to lighting.
There's no working mirrors or reflections, is there?
Oh, mate, there's not. No, and that is a weird one.
Yeah,
but I've heard a few developers in my time say that reflections are like one of the hardest things.
Really?
That and doors.
Right.
But so like we're going to see it in this, like the pool, little bit of like artifacting as we go up the versions until there is none in the next gen. But yeah, I mean, if you played it on any of them, I mean, it does. I gotta say, it made me feel a little bit motion sick playing the 30 FPS.
Really?
I don't know whether that's because I've gone from 60 FPS, because I've played it for tens of hours. I don't know whether that's because I've gone from that to 30 FPS, but yeah. Maybe it's that thing as well, I was talking about the the 31 and 29 FPS, where it'd do two either moving frames next to each other or two still frames next to each other. Maybe that has a jarring effect.
Yeah,
could be. I'm not actually sure, but yeah, I was playing the One X version, and that was the first last gen version I tried. Just made me feel a little bit motion sick, to be honest.
Well, that's a good
and
warning.
I don't know whether that's just me though, because the longer I played it, the less I felt it. So whether it was just the jarring effect from going from the 60 FPS to the 30 FPS, not sure. But just beautiful kind of environments, Rich, like these, very kind of picturesque. And you go all around LA, but we tried to keep it to the beginning areas, just because
don't want to get too spoilery.
Exactly,
because there are some cool surprises.
Yeah, some people want to experience Santa Monica for the first time. I know it's been in the trailers and everything. Same with Venice Beach. Those are the Venice Beach and Ocean Drive, two of the more impressive environments. But
I thought it was called Ocean Drive. It's called Ocean Avenue.
It is. It is Ocean Avenue.
I thought it was called Ocean Drive in real life, though. Am I wrong?
No. So the actual drive is called Ocean Drive, but the map is different.
Okay.
So, or it's the other way around. It's Ocean Drive, the map name, and it's Ocean Avenue, the road.
Anyway,
I can't remember which. Yeah, but the lighting is just great across the board. This is right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
As you go from I guess pre-sunrise to just as you move through this area, it just gets a little bit more lighter until you're in Bel Air in the morning. But also it's so easy to make this comparison video. No night cycle. You choose between day and night.
That's when you fast travel, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you can choose, but you can't fast travel till about halfway through the game. So kind of annoying.
Slightly odd, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually like the fast travel system. It's I want to be able to fast travel from anywhere. I don't have to want to keep going to maps. But but one of the more visually impressive kind of next gen games so far. Our reviews are on the site, Xbox Achievements, PlayStation Trophies. If you want to check them out. Thanks for watching, folks. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Cheers, folks. Goodbye.
Cheers. Bye.